Does it matter if our country supports Israel in the current conflict that is going on in the Middle East? Hi, my name is Ken Yates, and I'm with Grace Evangelical Society, and I would just like to give my thoughts on that for the next few minutes. As you know, in Genesis chapter 12, when God called Abraham out of Ur of the Chaldees, he told him that he would bless those who blessed him, and he would curse those who cursed him. And this theme is found throughout the Old Testament as well, that Israel is God's chosen people, and those who are friends and bless them will be blessed by God, and those who oppose them and are his enemies will be cursed by God. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that God blesses those who bless Israel if Israel does something evil, for example. But that's not what we're seeing in the Middle East right now. We are seeing them responding to atrocities that shock the conscience, the things that happened when Hamas went into Israel and killed and raped and did things that are just horrible to civilians in the land of Israel. And right now, Israel is being attacked on many different sides. And what should our response be? Now, obviously, we as citizens don't make that decision, but as we look at it, can we say, well, I hope we respond in this way? Probably the clearest example of being blessed and being cursed by God and the way one treats Israel is the example of the Egyptians in the book of Exodus. When Joseph rose to power, the nation of Egypt was blessed immensely because they honored Joseph. They elevated him to the second highest position in the country, and the blessing from God just poured out upon them. They became one of, if not the richest, strongest nations on the earth. But of course, we know what happened. There was a Pharaoh who did not know Joseph who came to power, and he began to mistreat the Egyptians, put them into slavery, killed their children, and we know the story of the plagues that fell upon them as this Pharaoh hardened his heart against the Jewish people, and his country was devastated, and his army was practically destroyed in the Red Sea. So as we see what is going on in Israel today, there have been many people who have pointed out that, it's probably the truth that one of the reasons that our country has prospered the way it has is because of the way they've treated Israel. I remember when I was in the military, I heard a story, which I assume is true. Some of you historians can correct me and email me if I'm wrong here. But when Israel became a nation in 1948, Harry Truman was in the position whether he should support them or not. And the story I've been told is that even some of his most trusted advisors said, no, you don't want to get into this. It's a hornet's nest. Don't get involved. For example, Marshall, who the Marshall Plan was named after, highly respected advisor, advised Truman against it, but Truman sided with Israel. And certainly we've been blessed, and students of the Bible would say that was one of the reasons. And as we look around the world today and we see the moral decline, we see the wrath of God all around us. But in this particular instance, can we say that to whatever degree God's blessings will flow if we remain Israel's friends? And this is very relevant because we're seeing today there are more and more people, even in the West, even in our own Congress, who are saying, there's moral equivalency. The terrorist they're right in one degree. We shouldn't just back Israel in these things. And we see all these protests in the streets, not just in our country, but in various countries around the world. Seems to me that as citizens of this country, we can sit back and say, I hope we back Israel. I hope that we are Israel's friends. I hope that we bless them, because what's going to come out of that, again, to whatever degree it is going to be blessings from God. That's my opinion, and I don't think there's any moral equivalency right now what's going on over there. If I was king for a day, I would be Israel's friend, and I hope that's what we do. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd ask that you press the like button and even the subscribe button. And until the next video, keep grace in focus.